Welcome to Proven English Learning System, the podcast where you learn real, everyday English through natural conversations. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Ethan. Hey everyone, so glad you're here with us today.
So, this podcast is really designed for people who are learning English and want to hear how people actually talk in real life. Not textbook English, not formal English, just real conversations, the kind of chat you'd have with a friend.
Exactly, like the kind of chat you'd have over coffee with a friend. Just relaxed, natural, everyday talk.
Yes, and today's topic is something that comes up in everyday life all the time, getting around the city, specifically how Ethan and I get around San Francisco. And I have to say, our situations are very different.
Very different. Lauren has a car, and I do not. I take the bus, the train, I walk, whatever it takes to get from A to B.
So let's get into it. Okay, so I drive. I have my own car, and honestly, I love it. There's this feeling of freedom you get when you can just go wherever you want, whenever you want, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I decide at 10 o'clock at night that I want to drive out to Ocean Beach and just sit there for a bit and look at the water, I can just do that. I grab my keys and I go.
Oh, wow, that does sound really nice. I definitely can't do that at 10 at night on a muni bus.
Probably not. And here's the big but, parking in San Francisco is an absolute nightmare. I mean it. It is stressful.
Oh, tell me about it. I've watched you drive around the block like 4 times just looking for a spot.
4 times is optimistic. Sometimes it's 15, 20 minutes just driving around looking for parking. And the parking tickets here are so expensive. I got one last month that was $80.
$80. Oh, wow. For what?
For parking in a red zone for like 5 minutes. I was just running in to grab a coffee. I came back out and there was already a ticket on my car. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, no. Yeah, see, that's honestly one of the things I don't miss at all about not having a car. I never have to worry about parking. Zero stress about it.
That is a real advantage. I'll give you that.
So for me, I mainly use Muni. That's the city bus system here in San Francisco. It goes pretty much everywhere. And honestly, once you learn the routes, it's not bad at all. You figure out which buses go near your home, which ones go to work, and you just get into a routine.
Right, yeah.
And then there's BART. That stands for Bay Area Rapid Transit. It's basically the subway or metro system. I use it to get to other parts of the Bay Area, like going over to Oakland or Berkeley, or heading down to the airport.
BART is pretty reliable, right?
Yeah, generally, BART is good. It's fast, it's pretty clean, and it's great for longer distances. The thing is, it doesn't cover every corner of San Francisco itself. The BART stops in the city are kind of limited. So for getting around within the city, I rely more on Muni.
Yeah, I actually take BART sometimes too. Like if I'm going somewhere downtown and I know parking is going to be impossible, it just makes more sense to leave the car at home.
Smart move. And then we can't talk about San Francisco transport without mentioning the cable cars.
Oh, the cable cars. I love them. They are so San Francisco. Like, they're iconic.
They really are. I mean, yes, tourists love them, and you always see a lot of tourists on them, but locals use them too, especially on the hilly routes, like the Powell Hide Line. You get these incredible views of the bay on the way up and down those big hills.
The views are seriously amazing. You go over the top of one of those hills and suddenly you can see the bay, the water. It's genuinely beautiful. Even if you've lived here for years, it still gets you.
It does, but they are slow, like really slow.
They are, yeah. You're not taking a cable car if you're in a hurry.
No, definitely not. And in the mornings, they can get really packed. I've been squeezed onto one with like 30 other people hanging off the side of this old wooden cable car going up a massive hill.
Huh, that sounds very cozy.
Very cozy, but honestly, there's something kind of charming about it. You're on this old wooden cable car that's been running for over 100 years, going up a steep hill, and you can see the whole city around you. It feels like a little adventure.
I never thought about it that way. Like every ride is a tiny adventure. I like that.
Exactly. And speaking of hills, can we just talk about the San Francisco hills for a second? Because they're no joke. This city is hilly in a way that I don't think people expect.
Oh, they are brutal. Even driving up some of those hills makes me nervous sometimes. Like when you're going up through Twin Peaks or some of the streets in Nob Hill, they are steep. And you have to stop at a red light on a slope, and you're just hoping your car doesn't roll back into the car behind you.
Oh, yes, exactly. And for walking or cycling, those hills are a serious workout. I do cycle sometimes, and there are certain routes I just completely avoid because the hills are way too steep.
Wait, you cycle? I didn't know that.
Yeah, not every day, but sometimes when the weather's good. San Francisco has some decent bike lanes now, and it's actually a really nice way to get around the flatter parts of the city, like along the Embarcadero or over in the Mission District.
Oh, the Embarcadero is beautiful for a bike ride. Along the waterfront, gorgeous.
It really is. But yeah, for most trips, I stick to the bus. What about rideshare, though? Do you use Uber or Lyft at all, even with a car?
Yeah, actually, I do sometimes. If I'm going to a concert or a game somewhere downtown where I know parking is going to be impossible and really expensive, it just makes more sense to get a rideshare. You get dropped right at the door, no stress, no parking fee.
Right, yeah. And I use rideshare too. Mostly late at night when the buses aren't running as frequently, or if I'm carrying a lot of bags and I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Okay, so here's a question for you. Do you think you would ever want a car? Like, do you ever wish you had one?
Honestly, sometimes yeah. The moments when I really feel it are when the bus is late and it's cold and windy outside, and I'm just standing there at the bus stop thinking, a car would be really, really nice right now.
Yeah.
Because the weather here, San Francisco is not always the sunny California that people imagine. We have the fog, the wind. You know they have a nickname for the fog here, right?
Carl the Fog, yes. Carl is very real and very cold.
Carl the fog. It can be genuinely freezing in the middle of July here. People visit in summer and they're shocked. They packed shorts and flip-flops and they're standing there shivering.
Haha, yes. We always say bring a jacket. Always bring a jacket to San Francisco, no matter what month it is.
Always. But anyway, yes, waiting for a bus in the fog and wind is not fun. But then the bus comes and you get on, and it's warm inside, and you can sit down and read a book or listen to a podcast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's actually something I really value. I use my commute time to read. I get through so many books because of public transport. When I'm on a bus or BART, I'm learning something or relaxing, not stressed about traffic.
That's a really good point, actually. When I'm driving, I can't really do anything else. I have to focus on the road. You can use your commute so much more productively. I kind of envy that.
Right, yeah. And honestly, the cost savings of not having a car are massive. No car payment, no insurance every month, no gas, no parking permit, no parking tickets.
Oh, wow. When you list it all out like that,
It really adds up to a lot of money every single month. Money I can spend on other things I actually enjoy, like good food or travel.
huh, priorities. I completely respect that. But for me, I think I'd really miss the freedom, like being able to just spontaneously drive up to Marin on a Sunday afternoon for a hike, or take a road trip up the coast.
Yeah, that spontaneous element. That's hard to replace.
Exactly. I think in a city like San Francisco, you totally could go car-free. The public transport is decent enough to make it work. But it's a lifestyle choice, you know? It depends on what matters most to you.
Totally. And there's no single right answer. Some people need a car for their job, or because they have kids, or because they live somewhere that's harder to reach by bus. It really just depends on your life.
Exactly. It's all about what works for you. Okay, I think that's a great place to start wrapping up. This was such a fun conversation.
It really was, and I feel like we covered a lot. Cars, muni buses, BART, cable cars, cycling, rideshare, scary hills, parking tickets, and Carl the Fog.
Ha, we really did. And if you're learning English, I hope this conversation was helpful. We tried to use real, natural, everyday language, the kind of words and phrases you actually hear in real life.
Things like public transport, rush hour, rideshare, bike lane, car free, and phrases like it adds up, on my own timeline, no joke, makes sense. These are all really common in everyday English conversation.
So listen back, take notes, and try using some of those phrases yourself. That's the best way to make them stick.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for listening today. We genuinely appreciate it. We make this podcast for you, and knowing that people are out there learning with us, that means a lot.
It really does. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who is also learning English. It helps us so much, and it might help them too.
And come back for the next episode. We'll be having another real, natural, everyday conversation just like this one. See you then.
See you next time, everyone. Bye.
Bye.